Okay, welcome to the Prolific Podcast episode number. I think it's number
I don't
5,
know.
number 6. I have to check.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Six?
it's I think it's episode number 6. As a matter of fact, I need to check what podcast I've been doing. Episode 4. Oh no, Juan, you're episode number 5. You're actually episode number 5 on the Prolific Podcast, and today we're talking to a amazing, 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 amazing artist, straight from
Who's coming?
Mexico. The amazing artist Juan Machuca. What's going on, brother?
Nothing really. Just resting from work. A week of work.
A week of work,
Just
man.
yeah, just enjoying the weekend.
I feel
I
you,
think it's
man.
fun.
I
How
feel
you
you, man.
been?
I've been good, man. I've been good. I've been chilling, man. I've been working just like you, dude. Just day in day out. But today, hopefully, we have a good, amazing podcast, man. And I wanted to know a little bit about you, man. What was your upbringing? What was some of the reasons you became such an amazing, talented artist?
Well, if you say so, man. I don't consider myself like that, but well, it's okay. It's okay, I guess.
What?
But
You're
what
amazing.
I mean, like the drawings and paintings and all that.
Yeah. What
I don't
got
know.
you into drawing, creating?
If we need to look back into my dark origins
I
of
want to
of
know.
this of this story. No, I'm just kidding. It's when I started. I guess. Well, if you want to know, if you really want to know, it's just, it's just like I guess I just like to draw when I was little. I had these books on school that had a lot of different drawings and all that, and I don't know. I just like a lot of those things. My imagination. It was how do you say, like it was like fed by those drawings, by those images. We
Yeah.
have like these uh, books in Mexico. They are called like um, el libro integrado. How do
Okay.
you say in English? The integrated book, something like it. It was
Yeah.
more art oriented. There's not a lot of art education, at least where I was. There's not a lot of art oriented education. So when I started drawing, I just used to doodle on my notebook all the time. I just like make characters and draw toys that I wanted. That's I think that was like the first inspiration for that. That I didn't have certain toys, and that, I mean I wasn't like really poor or something, right? I'm not saying that, but there were certain things that when you're a kid you want, right? So
Yeah.
you start to invent characters and you keep drawing stuff, and I was like that for some time. But it was like many things. I bought magazines from Nintendo. I used to copy the characters from the magazines because I wanted to do drawings like that. You know, I wanted
Yeah.
to have similar art because art from that time, I didn't know how those guys made it. Like I don't know if you remember. Have you seen like the art from? We were talking earlier on the chat on Facebook about Zelda.
Yeah.
I don't know if you. Well, the art from those from the promotional art for those games. it's very different because it's more traditional.
Right.
It's not made digital art. It was done with different materials. So I used to like trying to do that, but of course I didn't have paintings. I just used my pencil and tried to do simple things, right? After that, another inspiration I think was Dragon Ball Z.
Oh,
There was
really?
a Yeah, that's how I started. When I wanted to learn anatomy, that's how I started to understand muscles. I used
That may
to copy. Yeah,
that makes sense
yeah,
because with a lot of like Dragon Ball Z characters, you really get to see like the tones of like the forearm, the arms, the muscular structure of one's body. Like the artists of those times, they yeah they drew each of those lines, each of those muscle points. That's very interesting. I didn't know that about you.
yeah. I used to try doing that. They used to sell this. I don't know if they did this on US. I guess maybe because I don't know that. I have checked a lot of vintage promotionals and all that from USA, but they used to sell these Dragon Ball Z albums, stamped albums.
Yeah,
I don't know if that sounds correct, but yeah, they used to sell those albums, and I used to buy them after school,
yeah,
and that's how I tried to experiment and keep learning. Right, I checked
right,
the muscles of the feet. Mainly at the beginning was like Goku. You could check
yeah,
his muscles. It's a very simple way to start learning anatomy. At least for me, it was. You know, I tried to copy the muscles and still try to make my own characters. And like I say, I keep trying through the time. I'm like many people that draw at that age. I saw like drawings for 1 pesos, 2 pesos.
wow,
Like that. But that
that's
like Samantha, for example, she's like that.
yeah, which is your
Samantha is
sister, right?
uh, that's right. That is correct. She's my sister. She also draws, and she 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 has a similar talent to what I have. I try to teach her
Yeah,
certain things, but she has made her own style also, and I think she recently opened her Instagram account. I haven't tried really to do one for because I haven't like used a phone
yeah,
that is good for photographs. You
yeah.
know,
I got you.
yeah, but yeah, and after that, well, I think that's like the first time that I tried to draw and other inspirations. Um, I think a lot of horror movies.
Horror
What they
movies.
used to, yeah, the horror movies and movies in general. They used to have this like on weeks something called cine permanencia voluntaria.
Yeah,
Like it was the weekend movies. Let's just say it like that. You know, they used to show like the trilogy of Chucky or Evil Dead and all that, and I like those kind of movies. And I used to check those. And what else? What else? Those kind of movies. There was this TV show called like Movie Magic or something like that. It was on Discovery Kids, and that was like a big influence for me on that
yeah,
time. Yeah, they used to talk about the movie stuff, all the props, how they made it, and I was like fascinated for because of that, right? And I don't know if you know it. This show like called Art Attack. Do you
Art
know it?
Attack.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one.
Well, that show I think was very big on the UK, but in Mexico they used to show it on the all days. and I used to watch that show all day, each day
Yeah.
on the weeks. Yeah, they had this show, and then it was about crafts, about art, and I learned like basic stuff from art in that show. You can look it up on YouTube. There's episodes, and I learned a lot from that. They used to make like dragons and demons because the guy just didn't do like, I don't want to say like that, but like kitty stuff, you know. He
Yeah.
used to make like really hardcore. The guy made a mummy, a demon, and well, of course for kids, right? But it was stuff that didn't look boring. Okay, that's the way I want to tell it.
Mm.
So yeah, that's another part of my inspiration. I don't know what what else do you want to know. That after that, I just keep like in what it, how would be the equivalent in United States, United States,
Yeah.
in
Wait, what?
preparatoria.
Primary?
I don't know if that's like high school or something.
Oh yeah, it's like middle school or like high school. Like middle
Yeah,
school,
it's
right?
something like that.
Like
Yeah,
before you
yeah.
get into high
They,
school.
they, yeah, before you get like on the university and all that.
Yeah.
Well, I used to draw there. Um, if I remember correctly, yeah, like fantasy art. I started to try that on those periods. I
Yeah.
was talking with Chris yesterday
Which is
when,
your brother, right?
yeah, yeah, with Chris and my brother, and we were talking about what we used to do when we started to use the internet.
Yeah.
And yeah, for first searches, and he was talking me that he was saying to me that the first thing he searched when we got the internet on our house was Lego pirates. So
Lego
you know,
Pirates?
yeah, yeah, that's the first, because he used to be obsessed with Lego, right?
Yeah.
And we didn't afford Lego because it was like, and still is like expensive, right? But other things that I used to love was like, there was this page called Warhammer. Is, do you know that game? It's very popular
Warhammer?
today. Yeah.
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Well, it's a very popular game. And there's Warhammer 40K and all that. Well, I used to go to the web pages of the old art, and I used to look at the wallpapers for those,
Yeah.
because the art was done with pencil. I think, I don't know the name of the guys, but it was a very good art style, and
And
that's what I, yeah.
I wanted
Yeah,
to
proceed,
ask
proceed.
I wanted to ask like
Go, 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 go.
did you begin drawing with just straight pencil, or you know drop the pencil and then started to pick up the pen, or did you ever pick up the pen? You know how was that like?
Well, like I told you, I didn't had like an art education, so the way I started to draw is what it was like, just experimenting with what I got, right? Right.
Yeah.
It's not like I could buy an expensive set of pencils and expensive set of paints. I still can't like buy that, right? Because it's expensive, you know. The if you try to buy certain materials for let's say there's these paints that they sell in Michaels, and these these materials are really expensive. If you try to buy something from that, it's more expensive in there, you
Yeah.
know. I don't know if I can explain, the when you change pesos to dollars, it's more expensive. So I started with pencils, and after that I use like pens.
Pens. Yeah.
Yeah. When I started to buy, like, I don't know if it's expensive stuff, is like pencils, but sets of pencils,
Right.
for but in Walmart. That's like the first stuff that I got.
Yeah.
Yep.
When did
After
you
that, yeah, yeah. Listen.
when did
Yeah.
you when was like the point where you're like, okay, I'm gonna transition into these pens? Like when did you become confident enough to say, you know what, I'm done with these pencils, at least for now. I think I'm good enough to draw an anatomy, or I'm good enough to draw whatever my vision is of my art. Like, what, when did you become, like, how, like, what was the timeline behind that? Was that like months? Was that years? Like, when did you, were you like, you know what, I'm gonna drop this pencil at least for now, and I'm just gonna go straight to the pen? Or is it something that you had the pencil and you just kind of had, you kind of draw, you kind of picked up the pen?
Well, it's different, and I still use pens and pencils, but I think I started to use different stuff when I was in the on the university. I tried to use pastels. I don't know if you know those pastels
Mm,
colors. Yeah, it's more like a chalk, like chalk. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but
chalk.
yeah, it's more like a chalk. That's right. It's
Yeah.
like a pasty, like a paste
Yeah.
material. So I started to try to use that, and I say, hey, those the way the colors blend seem like easy. I remember that I used to also watch Bob Ross a lot when I was little.
Wow, really?
The,
That's
the
so interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I used to watch that show because they had it on Mexico, but in Spanish, and the guy
Yeah.
tried to, yeah, the guy was painting, and I once tried to paint when I was like in, I don't know, in secundaria. That's the way I'm gonna say it because I don't know the equivalent in
That's okay.
English. Okay,
That's okay.
yeah, after after school, let's say it. But yeah, I have like I was like 15 years old, so figure it out like that.
Yeah, it's like
I
middle
tried to,
school.
yeah, like, I tried to buy like a set of paintings. I didn't know what to do, so I messed it up, and I was like, no, I don't want to paint ever again. I found it like,
Wow, really?
this is not my stuff. That's the reason I didn't paint for a long time, because the first time that I tried to do it, I couldn't do it because I didn't know what I was doing. I
What?
bought like,
Wait,
yeah, yeah, really.
that's so interesting because you really got that discouraged from the first time you tried to use paint. But when you first started drawing, wouldn't it? I mean, you're not gonna be the best of drawers. What, like, how did you get discouraged from painting, and how did you, like, from drawing with pencil? You were like, you know what, it's okay. That's so interesting that
Drawing
you
was drawing was easy. There's no, well, it easy in a way that there's no science behind using a pencil. At least there's no really like something really hard with that. It's like you use a pencil, you just put it on the paper, you press it a lot, or you press it in a soft way, and you get different shades.
yeah.
But with paint, it's different because there's a lot of different paintings. There's a lot of different ways to apply a painting. When I bought those paints the first time, I bought some oil paints, and when you're gonna use those, and I'm still at this moment, I'm not an expert using those. When I try to use them, it's just because I remember some YouTube tutorials, and I have done some oil paintings, but I generally don't make paintings with oil. The
Wait,
first
wait,
time that
wait,
I
wait, wait, wait.
Yeah,
You're saying,
yeah,
okay, so for someone who doesn't do art, you're saying that it's a completely different process. And I know how ignorant I might sound, but it's a completely different process from using a pencil to painting. Like, it's something way different. It's not like you can just pick up a pencil. You're an amazing artist. When you pick up a paintbrush, you're an amazing paintbrush. It doesn't translate like that, right?
it helps. It helps because you have certain knowledge about tones and values,
Yeah.
and you apply that. to painting, right?
Right.
But the materials don't work the same.
Oh,
Uh,
damn.
Oil painting needs needs to have the surface where you're gonna paint needs to be prepared to apply the painting.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like you need to have like gesso, or if you don't add the like oil, there's something called linseed oil. If you don't add a little bit of that, and like I say, I'm not an expert on oil painting. I don't do it a lot, but in my experience and from what I heard, from what I have heard on the internet, if you don't apply that first, the paint doesn't move, doesn't slide. So you try to scrub your brush on the canvas, and it never moves, and you end up doing like basically shit, you know, because
Yeah.
you do the same thing that you do with a pencil. I don't know if we can use swear words, right? So
No,
I don't
you're
know.
good. Go ahead. Use fuck, shit,
But
motherfucker.
yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Oh, it's a relief, really.
You're
No,
good,
no,
man.
no. But it's like that. There's different ways. You need to know for acrylic. It's the main painting that I use. The main paint that I use.
Acrylic. Okay.
Acrylic
That's so
is the
interesting.
most easy type of paint
Yeah.
that a lot of art, because there's no like, well, of course there's like a certain way to use it, right? But it's easier than oil. Oil, you can make tons of mixes. You can add oil to the paint because those are oil based paints, and acrylic is plastic. And the way you can, how do you say, when the paint is like really, how do you say, when it's really like uh
Thick.
straight from the tube, the painting is really like, you need
Uh.
to add water.
Oh, it's too
It's a little
concentrated.
like, yeah, something like that. I forgot the word, but
Yeah.
it's in the acrylic painting, straight from the tube, or the bottle or whatever. It's more like hard to move with the brush. You need to add water to make it flow.
You need to dilute
The
it. It needs to be
right,
diluted.
right. See, that's the things that I say. I don't remember certain words, but
That's
I
okay.
try my
No,
best.
no worries, man. That's so
So
interesting
yeah,
because
it's
you
yeah,
would
yeah.
think that, like, at least for me, and of course to the art industry, and to the people, like, this is my, from a ignorant person coming into the art world, you would think that, oh, if I'm good at drawing, I'm gonna be good at painting. I'm gonna be good at just freestyling spray paint. You know what I mean? Like, for me, it's like interesting to find out that no, it doesn't. It's not. It doesn't just work that way. You have, it's
I
each
mean,
each it's a style, right? You got to figure out that style. You may have the
it helps.
base. Yeah.
It's any tool that if you don't know how to use it, you're gonna work it with it in an incorrect way.
Yeah, you're
You
gonna
know,
fuck it up.
you're gonna you don't know what you're doing. You're gonna be
Yeah.
like, why is this painting never moving? Why this thing never looks like I want to do? And you see others people works,
Yeah.
and you see it, you get frustrated. Like, how the fuck does this guy does that? I can make a straight line with this damn brush,
Yeah.
and that I know, and now think that we didn't have internet back on the day, so
Yeah.
there was no way that I could know how to use it. I think I bought a book on a library, and it had some art tutorials. Now that I remember, it was like the first art book that I about painting that I got, and it was boring for me. It was like trees, but not in a way that it was like details, and now they were like simple flower. Just you want to do a tree, just make a brown line and that's it. Like, I don't want to do that. I want to make a tree that looks like there's bark and texture and all
Yeah,
that.
detailed.
Just some background and some stamps with green paint on your fingers. You don't want to do the things that you see on those Warhammer wallpapers, you know. So yeah, that's the way I started. I tried to learn how to paint with paint with first with pastels, like I said, and then I made some paintings, but but mix with acrylic because acrylic is cheaper. Also, that's
Yeah.
like like I said, I don't have a lot of money to invest in art,
Hmm.
so try to look. I don't want to say it like that, but
You
I try to
gotta
look like
you make
cheap
with do right. You do with what you have.
what I got, you know.
Yeah,
It's
and
like I would like to buy like professional paints and all that because again you can buy like paints from the corner store and there's paintings like done with that, but you can also go to Michael's or Hobby Lobby and they have like paints from golden acrylics and they have like professional stuff, but each painting is like $20 a bottle or and you're like now I paint something or I eat, so I prefer to eat something, right? But yeah, it's like I try to do with what I can. Uh,
yeah,
if I
it's a
remember correctly, yeah,
yeah, it's
I
a
was sorry
no, it's okay.
to
Go
go.
ahead.
Okay, okay. Well, I was in the university and I tried to paint, but never like put an effort in that. I went to an art. Uh, there was this teacher that used to do paintings. I was on the tech. Yeah, I'm from Nuevo Laredo, from Tamaulipas. So they used to make like no, they had this mural on the university that that a teacher painted. It was very good, and he had an art class on the weekends on Sundays. And because I wanted to learn, I went on Sunday on the morning to the school to learn how to draw. The first time that I got there, there was this guy is that was like a student. He saw my drawings, and I was like, it's interesting. You have my style, but in a very condescending way, you know. I
Oh
was
my
like,
god,
I just barely got here, and this guy is
that's
already talking.
so
There,
annoying.
there I knew that this was like was like an I don't want to say like that, but like a nobody, right? He was
Yeah.
not some. He was the guy that started the art class at the beginning, but he was not directly related with the teacher. He knew a lot about art, but again, this art studies like it was just like 3 or 4 weekends, and the guy never teach us how to paint. He's a really
Wow.
good teacher. We never got to that point, and I was like, okay, I know how to make balls. I know how to make squares. I know how to draw. I know I we use some certain pencils that I didn't know how to use it at the moment. But okay, pencils and whatever. I want to know how to draw. That's what I want. I will draw, paint. That's what I want. I want to know how to paint. I don't want. Okay, it helps to understand more stuff about drawing, right? But
Yeah.
you want to know. I know I've been like I had like I was like 18 or 20 at the time, and I was like I've been drawing for so long, and at that moment I used to draw a lot of drawings from Cthulhu. I don't know if there's a different pronunciations for that from Lovecraft. I don't know if you know those.
No.
The
Is it
the author. It's an author for horror books. It's very known also. It's
Okay.
basically every tentacle monster that you find on somewhere.
Yeah.
It's probably inspired by that madness and all that stuff. I used to read those books a lot. I bought books from Lovecraft all the time. So I started buy books, to buy books, and started to illustrate the characters from the books,
Yeah.
the Shaggods, the Galapkins. There's a lot of weird names, but anyways, so this guy is like telling us the basics of drawing, but I want to know how to paint, and we never got there. The course like ended because everybody started to not going, so everybody missed the classes.
Wow.
Once again, I didn't know how to draw, and I was like fuck, this was my chance to learn how to paint. You know,
And you just didn't get there.
yeah, I didn't get it, so it was like, oh well, fuck, let's proceed, and I kept drawing like, um, what would you say, like I didn't finish the tech, so it was like 3 years on the tech. I was like 21, 20, 22, let's say, when I finished. So I went to a different university.
Juan,
We
I want
Yeah,
to, I kind of want to, because I feel like we're skipping a little forward. I want to backpedal a little bit, and I want to ask
you
you,
go.
like, I want to ask you there's two questions I want to ask you. The first question I want to ask you is kind of like, when did you realize that you had some sort of talent, or you had this like a passion for drawing? That's the first question. And then the second question is gonna get a little more personal, and if you feel comfortable answering that, then I'll do to you. I want to know like how your family felt, like knowing that, hey, my son's passionate about this and he's good about that. But I really want to know, like, the first question is, um when did you realize, like, oh shit, like, I'm kind of, not an ego thing, right? It's not like an ego thing. It's not like, oh, and you know what, let's be proud of our art, right? But I'm saying, like, when did you realize you were like, fuck, I'm kind of good at this, I'm kind of like, I'm drawing some badass shit. You know what I mean? Like, when did you realize that? Like, at what age, or at what, like, point in it?
Well, I like all the artists that you may heard on the internet, and I'm not saying that I'm like them. All of them, most of the time, they will
Yeah.
always answer, "Not good enough." Still,
Yeah.
still, I think like that of me. I'm not good enough, and I think I have
Wow.
improved. But I'm always watching others people works, and I say that guy is better than me, and I want to do what he does, and I want to know how he does that. That's what always intrigues me. When I see something, a texture or something, I'm always thinking, how did he do that? Then that's how I try to keep improving. But
So it
when I
wasn't.
started to, yeah, it was like on the university when I tried to make the Lovecraft drawings.
Yeah.
I started. There's a lot of tentacles and eyeballs and teeth and weird stuff. So that's when I started to see, hey, I'm starting to be better. I'm making a lot more details. The anatomy doesn't look so bad. Still, if I look at those drawings, they for me they look terrible. But at that moment, I feel like, well, this I'm not ashamed to show this to
y-
people. I
Yeah.
can say, well, look, this looks good. And about my family, my mom, she always she always knew that I like to drawing from when I was little. That's what I did all the day. If you ask Chris, like my brother again, uh, I had books that I filled. There was this book that I filled with drawings from from Mario. I made like these mazes for Donkey Kong,
Yeah.
like a Donkey Kong style game. I don't know if you know those old Donkey Kong games from the arcades where Mario has to like jump between certain
You're talking about the
black.
classic Mario,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
the one where he's going up the scaffolding, like the one he's going up like it wasn't it was like the before Mario. It was just this plumber going up this thing. That's what you're talking about.
yeah, yeah. If you ask Christian, I used to. I filled a notebook. It had like 50 pages, and the whole notebook was filled with mazes for Mario. It was like something obsessive, like I like to design games, stages. And when I was like 13 years old, I had my math notebook that had like squares. I don't know if those. I assume like that is also like that in America, right? In the United States, the
Yeah.
math books have like squares,
Oh yeah,
the
yeah,
square
yeah,
line.
yeah.
Well, I used to make mazes for draw mazes and make little monsters inside and hearts. And it makes me laugh now because, like I told you, I play Dungeons and Dragons, but when I was that age, I didn't know that existed. So in my mind, I sometimes think, well, I didn't know that existed, but I tried like copy something similar. So yeah, I always did stuff like that. My mom and my dad saw that I always tried to paint, no, to paint, to draw all the time. That's the thing that I did
Your family was
all the time.
were very. It sounds like your family was very supportive of your passion.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of my, because my dad was always I was working. He's been always working with the truck and all that,
Yeah,
and yeah, but yeah, my mom saw me always drawing. They bought me in Walmart my first, let's say, professional pencils
yeah.
with HB to all that stuff. But yeah, they knew that I like to draw, so I just keep doing it.
That's so
And hmm,
that's so badass, man. It's so good to have like especially your parents or your rather if your family members really pushing your passion. I think it's very interesting to have that, and it feels good to have people that are supporting what you believe and what you think that not only that you think but like that you love. It's hard to get that nowadays, at least from my personal experiences with things, and it's so good to hear that your family is very supportive and things like that. And it's amazing that like from that it created this like special and not to kiss your ass too much, but like it's so amazing like how much of your art really translates like who you are and things like that, and it's very inspired. I think that my next question is going to be like, what do you feel do you feel when you draw, like when you draw, do you like when I do a video or when I do a podcast or when I do edit anything, what my domain of art, right? My pen, my thing is like video editing or photoshopping. I'm getting all this emotion out, and I'm getting all these feelings out, like, hey, I'm putting all my anger, my happiness, everything into this like project. Do you do that with your drawings? Do you put your emotions into it? Do you put your feelings into it? Do you put your thoughts
you
into it?
right, you feel complete, like you're doing something that makes you forget about everything. You're on that
Yes.
zone.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes.
Yeah, just because this is the first time that I've been watching, and the way you talk on this podcast, the way you sound passionate even about my crappy art, but But yeah,
No, come on, dude. You're always so self-deprecating, dude. I'm telling you, you're fucking. Ever since we were young, dude, you're always with the shits, man. You're always telling yourself you're fucking good, dude. And whatever, dude. That's our own family shit. We'll talk about that personally, but that's you're so good, man. I hate that you do that, but go ahead.
no, sorry. I
No,
don't
it's
know.
okay. It's
It's just the
okay.
way. But yeah, no, no. If you what I feel when I draw, when I paint, it's just like there's this release of ideas. I
Yeah.
constantly have ideas on my mind, and there's this satisfaction when you
Yes.
finally see that they're there, that there it's not on your mind anymore. It's now out there. You
Yes. Yes.
have expressed what you had. There it is. Look at it. You know that's the way I feel like. Uh, I see that the art that I have, that there's a lot of ideas, stories, and um, even like I told you, I've been trying to make like these RPG books with art and all that, but I'm always distracted with different things, so I rarely finish something that requires like writing something. So my main focus has always been like painting and drawing. Even when I was like 13 years old, I tried because I had friends that were like metalheads, so
Yeah.
they loved, and I also was, and I also was like that. They loved to play guitar and all that, and I bought a guitar. I have like a acoustic guitar, even bought an electric guitar. I tried to learn, and I tried to learn a lot of time. It was like my hobby on back then, but I never that word. I don't want to fuck it up, but I never focus it. I don't want to say it like that. That was never my.
Dedicated.
Let's just leave it like that. That wasn't my main hobby. I always was with the drawing, you know, with the drawings and then all that. But that's the way I could express it. Is you feel satisfaction when you see your work, when you see your ideas, your creatures, your monsters. You know, you
Can
sometimes
I?
I like to make I re sorry I try to
It's okay.
make original stuff, but sometimes I like to make ideas from other things like properties that are already out there. But yeah, yeah. What were you gonna ask me?
I was gonna say, like, do you? I wonder if you get the same feeling that I get when I finish a video or I finish like a podcast, like, or I finish like a something good. Like, do you get like? Do you get the feeling of like this release of like, damn, like I got
Yeah,
it. You know, I boom, I got that drawing
yeah,
out there. I got that painting out there. I got that video out there. I feel good about it. You know what I mean? Like I always get that when
yeah.
I
And
post a video.
you're painting and making all the. First, you're starting big and making the big shapes of the painting, the creature, the backgrounds, and you make it's like a puzzle. You
Yeah.
paint every piece. At the end, you just take your finest brush and start painting just the little details and
Yes.
start look you start looking at all the corners of the painting. What is missing? What is missing? And sometimes I feel like yeah, it's finished, and then I look to somewhere else and it's oh, this is missing. I didn't paint that, and just when I see at the end, well, there's no more like small details that I need to add. It's it's now good enough. Then there's that feeling of the relief that finally it's done.
Yeah.
And after that, I take the photos of the painting, that I'm still not very good at it. Like because I have this camera that I use, but it's a very old camera also because you know that I got that camera when I got fired from a work. That's
Yeah.
the way I got it. Yeah, I got fired from a work and they gave me like how do you say when they give you money for because of that when they fire you from a work and they give you some money like compensation or something like
Yeah.
yeah thanks for your help here's like 10,000 pesos. Well, with that money I had like this idea that I was going to be an illustrator. That was my main idea when I was on the university. Like, yeah, I'm gonna learn this, but I want to be an art illustrator one day. And I haven't like done something serious yet. But with that idea, I started to check on the internet. Now that we had it, I needed a camera. So when they fired me from that work, when I got that money, the first thing that I did was I'm gonna buy the camera, and I got it because those cameras are expensive. The professional cameras for taking photos and all that, those are really expensive. Though with that money, I immediately bought that. Yeah.
And let me just say this, and I'm gonna say this. And if you're watching episode number 5 of the Prolific Podcast on YouTube by L3X underscore 44, man, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, share. And if you're on Facebook, because we're definitely gonna post this on Facebook, please make sure you share this video. I'm gonna say this, man. I'm gonna say this. Speaking about relief,
No,
speaking about
the
happiness,
sponsor.
I'm gonna go pee and I'll be back.
So I thought that you were gonna say thinking about relief. No, there's these pills about relief that I want to talk to you about, guys. It's called
Blue Chew.
I don't know ECPC or something like that, right?
I'll
Something
be,
weird.
yeah, I'll be
Yeah.
back, man. All right. We are back to the Prolific Podcast episode. Hopefully, it's number 5. I think it's number 5. I just got done with another podcast, so we'll get to that too. But today or tonight, we're talking about Juan Machuca, and we want to see. I wanted to say something. I think
What you want to say?
as much as you are good, as much, and this is gonna be kiss ass Juan. I don't give a fuck what you say, dude. This is gonna be kiss ass, dude. Your YouTube channel, bruh. You're so like your mind. Oh my god, I cannot like, and I know this sounds so crazy, but like I am so like your mind, your creative mind, like I cannot like, you're so good at what you can articulate your creative thoughts so well as far as art or like video editing and stuff like that. Like I love your videos, man. Like it's so good. And I
I
know it
haven't
sounds like
done it.
kiss ass. I know it sounds
Oh,
kiss ass, but I'm
thanks.
being serious.
Really.
Yeah.
So it's like 3 videos, right?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I haven't loaded something on nothing else because I was like, I was like doing this project, like this last this year. I was doing this project for a guy,
Yeah.
a Kickstarter, or something. He wanted some paintings, and I was like painting like 6 paintings, and I it was a challenge. Like one painting for it took me like 3 weeks each painting.
Three
Yeah, I
weeks?
stopped doing yeah 3 weeks because I was working fast. That's fast for me because
Three
I used to
weeks?
mess it up. Yeah, I used to mess it up a lot. because it was like I used to take longer, like a month. Oh well, that's like just another week, right? But yeah, it was like a month or maybe more. But because I didn't knew the rules of painting and didn't had seen a lot of tutorials, and I was going to recommend something that the way I started to learn to paint when I started to get serious about painting, it was because of two YouTube channels. And with these channels, I learned how to paint. That's how I learned. And one was with this guy called like how to draw, how to paint Star Wars. That's the name of the channel.
Yeah.
It's by a guy called what was his Matt Bush. He's an illustrator for Star Wars
Yeah.
and this film and all that. And that's the first time that I saw materials for drawing the way that I see on those books, on concept art. That's how I knew what kind of materials people use because I didn't know anything about acrylics, about how to use like airbrush, how to use like different type of brushes. That I didn't know that you could use like make a drawing first and then start painting on top. I didn't know the process of how do you paint like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, with that channel, the guy like um, had a video tutorial for how to paint star, and then the guy is like very funny. He's a very funny guy. Those videos are like hilarious. He talks a lot, makes sketches and all that. Uh, and yeah, that's the way I started. When I saw, I was like mind blown, right? It damn, I that so that's what people use. They use acrylic paints and water. Oh, that and then when I started like, wait a moment, that shit is they sell it on the corner store on I don't know how do you say papeleria in English,
I don't know.
where they'll sell art supplies and I
Oh,
was like, wait,
I don't know, man. That's
like Michael's, a craft store,
uh
like office. Well, in Mexico, they have like
supply
this
shop,
corner store. Maybe in Mexico they have
distributor,
like these corner stores. How do you say?
distributor. No, right?
That's it's a different name. I'm sure it's gotta be an English name, right? It's not like
Yeah.
something that Mexico invented, but it's like a store where they sell like office supplies, but because those things are for school, they also say paints and brushes and well, when I saw those videos, I was like, so that's what people use. They use paintings, they use washes, they dilute the painting with water. That's the way they make those fine lines. Because at that moment I didn't knew how you could make a small line with a brush. Because like I said, I didn't have art education. If I try to draw something, if I try to paint something and make a line with acrylic paintings or any kind of painting that I found, I mess it up. But those drawings, that channel had a lot of tutorials and and about different stuff, and that's how I learned at the beginning.
As much as like I want to continue talking about art, I think there's other aspects of your life that I want to talk about. And one of those aspects of your life is that you love comic books. You were a big
Oh
collector,
yeah, yeah,
right? You're a big collector of the comic
yeah.
books.
Like small collection of books,
You
but
love comic books.
I used to buy a lot of, and again for the art, I used to buy a lot of Marvel.
Marvel.
Uh, yeah, but like everyone, right? everyone bought Marvel, and my dad when I was little. I think that was another inspiration. The first thing that my dad bought me, or that no, the first thing that I bought when I was little was a Batman comic book.
Wow,
I had
DC.
money. Yeah, that's the first thing that I bought. It was a Batman comic book, and I think the villain was Clayface, and the comic book was not for my age because it was like something very dark, and I have never seen something like that. I was
Yeah.
like 6 years old or something. I just bought it because it was Batman, right? But that's the first thing that I bought for me when I had money. It was a comic book for from Batman. Um, and let's say after that, I used to. They had this store for magazines on our local HEB from here from Nuevo Laredo,
Yeah.
and yeah, they I used to always buy Nintendo magazines. There's this magazine called Club Nintendo, and I always bought that. I always ask my mom to buy me that magazine
Yeah.
each month. And besides that, the comic books they sell comic books there. I used to buy comic books there also, but I like I said there was something about the art. The certain I just tried to buy books with certain art that I like. So I liked a lot of Dark Horse
Oh
because the
wow, really?
covers
People who brought Spawn, who brought Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane came from made from Dark Horse, right?
from Image. No,
And
no,
no, he went
McFarlane is from
the what?
McFarlane. Spawn is from Image Comics. Dark Horse is more like um the Alien and Predator comics.
They're more like
I
it's
think
not. It's more like story driven, right? Comic. It's not necessarily like fully like a Spider Man, right? It's not like a Dark Horse is more like. Did they do Walking Dead? No, right? Like, what are some of the books that they've done?
if I remember the Hellboy, it's
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Dark
yeah, yeah.
Horse,
There you go.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
It I don't know, something different about those books. It's the art.
yeah,
It's the art.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
something different. The traditional art that they use because Marvel at some point it started to be like more digital because it was easier. But
yeah,
I used to buy books and I loved the books that had inside the art was done traditional. I
yeah.
had like there was this store called Barnes and Nobles and
Oh,
on
yeah,
the
yeah,
Mal del well, they used to sell like books and all that. And I bought a comic book from Jango Fett from Star Wars, and the art inside it was done in a traditional way, like the way I wanted to learn, and I still didn't know how to do it right. I used to buy books like that. After that, I bought books from Marvel, but again, I think it started again when Marvel Zombies because
yeah,
the covers. Have you seen those covers, right?
yeah. Those are
From Arthur.
crazy. Shout out Disney. They're gonna
I think
make
that
a series about it.
yeah, I just saw that today. Uh, I used to love the books because again they're done traditional.
Yeah,
I like the way it is different. It is different. You see something traditional made and something digital. You can make digital look like you did it with traditional art, right? With a pencil and a brush. It's possible. But again, it's that the way it looks,
yeah.
it's different. After that, I think I bought like I was obsessed with Sin City.
Sin City.
You know those? Sin
Yeah,
City.
I've
Have you
seen
seen
it.
that movie?
Yeah, who? What was his name? Quentin Tarantino, right?
Frank Frank Miller. It's yeah. I think it's with from Robert Rodriguez. So I started to look the work from Frank Miller. That was the guy that invented Sin City,
Yeah.
and I was like, yeah, this guy is really good. And then I saw 300. The guy made that
Dude, I've never
300.
seen that. You'll be surprised. I've to this day I haven't seen that movie.
That is
I
a
know
good
I've seen
movie.
every meme and like everything about it, but I still haven't seen it. Is it
It's the
good?
art. That's the way uh, you need to appreciate. This is the art. The way they make those transitions, it's very comic book like. That's the same reason I love Sin City, because it looks a lot like a comic book. The way they make the shadows, like very dark, and there's like no three dimensionality to the shape. It looks like, I don't know how to explain it, but it looks like a comic book. Let's just
Yeah.
leave it like that. Okay.
You must have really like Suicide Squad, the new one that came out.
The new one.
Have you
Oh
seen
yeah,
the
I
new
saw
one
it.
or no?
I saw it. Yeah, I seen it. I went to the movies, but
It was kind of
I
comic
don't think that
bookish.
it was good because it was different, right? It was different. But comic books, I'm watching my comic books right now, but I don't know. I don't remember right now what I bought.
It's all
But it's
good,
just
man.
a different stuff. If you ask me for, I really like independent stuff.
Yeah.
Like my favorite comic book artist is some guy that it is known, but more in an underground way. It's Richard Corbin. Have you seen the work from that guy?
Not yet. Richard Corbin.
Yeah, that guy. That guy is like that. That was one of the books that I bought on that magazine store on HEB. It was a collection from horror stories because, like, again, I like a lot of horror movies and all that. He had a collection of books that it was called the Hound of Horror because it was something similar to EC Comics. I don't know if you know those. Those are the guys that made Tales from the Crypt
Okay.
and Weird Side. All those old horror comic books.
Yeah.
Well, that guy made that art, and again, when you see that art, it's like it's something really strange about the anatomy. It looks cartoony, but at the same time, the way he makes an anatomy or something, it's very different. And that guy is my favorite comic book artist. He I don't know that it has some stories that are very creepy, but the art from and now that I mentioned creepy, those are my favorite comic books.
Yeah.
The old comics from the 80s and 70s, from Warren magazines, creepy comic books, the creepy magazine, eerie. I don't know if you know those. They used to make these old horror comic books magazines on those times,
Yeah.
on the 70s, and they had. If you see those covers, because those covers are painted in oil paints with guys like Frasera, uh, Gonzalo Mayo, it's a comic book artist. San Julian, is an artist from Spain.
Yeah.
But those arts, the interior art, the stories the about the horrors that they do on those, it's very good. Richard Corbin worked on those books, and the last comic book that I bought is a collection from the stories that he made for that magazine. So I'm really a fan of that guy. That's my favorite comic book artist.
So
So yeah,
talk
I don't know if you want
talk.
to add something else.
No, you're good. Perfect. Love it. I love it. But talking about stories and being a fan of, I'm a really big fan of
Yes.
yours, of you, and dude. I'm ready. I'm ready for the next podcast, man. It was such a pleasure talking to you. It's so amazing. It's so I there is so much we didn't even get into the Dungeons and Dragons part of your life. We didn't yeah, we touched a little bit of the comic book of your life, but we need to get more in depth into what is your favorite artist and what's your favorite story, what's your favorite story that was told throughout the comic books. You know, what was your favorite portion of Marvel, favorite portion of DC? Like we have more to talk about, and this was the prolific podcast number 5 with Juan Machuca. Do you have anything that you want to say that they can find you, discover you? Is there anywhere where they people can see your stuff?
Well, there's this Facebook page. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, right? Because this was improvised, I guess, at the beginning or something. I was just like gonna do that that those campaign notes that I was gonna write, but it was good to talk about this. With that, we had the time. So a place where you can find my work, I guess on there's this Facebook page called MachucArte. I don't know if you're gonna add like a link or something.
You want to spell it out?
It's difficult, I guess. Like MachucArte, the
Yeah.
art of Juan Machuca.
Yes,
That's the way you
sir.
can find my Facebook, and there's where I post my pictures of my drawings of stuff that I build, like um I don't know, like buildings for wargaming and all that shit.
Yeah. Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, I have some. I'm gonna send you some.
it was such a pleasure talking to you, man, and I want to do it again, and I want to like really talk about the next portion of your life there, and your some more of your parts, because we're not done. You know, the story isn't done with you, man. We still have a lot of shit to talk about. you
There's
know?
a lot of hidden secrets. My eventual falls of
Yes. We still have a lot of lore
the
to discover.
yeah the all the tragic backstory of how I started to, I don't know, to do something right. Yeah, don't worry. There, whenever you want, I'm here. You know, so
Yeah.
I'm very glad that you asked this for me, and I'm glad to help. So whenever you want.
Hell yeah, dude. We've been wanting to get this done for a minute. And I just want to say thank you for taking the time out and, doing this for me. And I appreciate it. But this is
Thank you.
concluding. Yeah, this is concluding episode number 5, number cinco. And we are out. See you guys later.